Just thought I'd film a short kind of wake up your body sequence. So we're just going to start with our hands by the sides, breathing our arms up. Interlace the fingers, turn the palms away. Exhaling the hands down and slightly backwards to get into those shoulders. Doing the same again, breathing the arms up. Interlace the fingers, press down through the sit bones, reach up through the palms of the hands. And then exhaling down and slightly backwards. And we'll just do that one last time, breathing the arms up. Interlace the fingers, turn the palms away. And then exhaling the arms down, hands behind the back. Open up across the chest, across the shoulders. Breathe into the stretch. Okay, and then releasing, and we'll just give the shoulders a little roll. A few times one way, a few times the other way. Okay, just come into a seated side stretch. One hand to the floor, to the mat, breathing the other arm over. Press down through the sit bones. You can take the gaze up if it's comfortable. Coming back to center, over to the other side, breathing the other arm up. Again, stretching up, keep the shoulders relaxed, press through the sit bones. Okay, coming back to center, and we'll just come into a seated twist. So if you just have the left foot in front, and then we'll turn to your right side, so one hand onto the knee or back of the hand over. And just taking the twist, gaze over the back shoulder. Breathing as deeply as you can here. And then coming slowly back to center, over to the other side. So we just change the positioning of the legs, take the other foot in front, one hand on the knee, back of the hand, alternatively, and just lifting up through the chest, shoulders relaxed. Breathing as deeply as you can. Just a gentle seated twist. And then coming back to center. Okay, so we're going to come onto all fours. Just going to do a few cat-cows just to mobilize the spine. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Breathing in, gazes forward. Breathing out and tucking under. We're doing the same again a couple more times. Breathing in, take the gaze up. So you feel the release across the low back. Breathing out, tucking under. Okay. One last time. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Tucking under. And then just coming back to neutral. And again, we're going to come through a little bit of a flow. So we're going to lower ourselves down to cobra. So keep those elbows hugging in. And you're just going to slide through, move into your cobra, sphinx or up dog. If you're happy, if your spine is happy, you can take your hips off. Opening back through the back body towards child's pose. And we'll do the same a couple more times. So you're breathing in, keep low to the mat if you can. Open through the spine, open through the chest. Exhaling, pressing back. And go one more time. Keep the elbows hugging in. We're just opening up as far as the spine is comfortable. Pressing back towards child's pose. And then we're going to tuck the toes from here, lifting up into downward facing dog. Keep nice wide fingers. We're going to take the right leg out behind, so into your three-legged dog. Moving through between the hands and just setting up for a low lunge, Aniyasana. Back knees down. You can keep the toes tucked or untucked. Breathing the arms possibly overhead. And just taking a couple of breaths here, sinking through the hips. If that's too much, just pressing the hips back. Okay, taking the hands down either side of the front foot, stepping back to downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Just taking a moment here, feel the stretch at the back of the legs. Taking the left leg out behind, through between the hands. Back knee places down, Aniyasana, crescent lunge. Tuck or untuck the back toes, whichever's comfortable. Breathing the arms up overhead. Sinking the hips or shifting the hips back if it feels too strong. Okay, And then taking the hands down, stepping back to downward facing dog again. Now we're going to move into a little bit of a hip opener. So you're going to take the right leg out behind. You're going to bend the heel towards the bottom. You're going to open the hip towards the right side and turn to gaze under the right armpit. So you're opening up the whole of the right side of the body. Nice hip opener. You might be able to press down through the left heel. And then you're going to close the hips, so get the hips level, extend the leg out, and then step through to your lunge again. And then we're going to turn into a twist from here. So Parivrtta Padasvankonasana or Parivrtta Anjaneyasana. So your left hand to the inside of the foot, opening out into a twist. Okay, if you want to, you can bend up the back foot or back leg, take the hand to meet that foot. Quite a strong quad stretch, but just see how that feels. Breathing. Okay, and then releasing the grip. If you're holding the foot, foot comes back down, hand either side of the front foot. I'm going to step back to downward facing dog. So exactly the same to the left side. So we're coming into a three-legged dog, left leg. Opening into the hip, so heel towards the bottom, turning to gaze under the armpit. Pressing down maybe through the right heel. Pushing the mat away from you. Breathing. Closing that hip, extend the leg, step through. Back into Anjaneyasana, but we're coming into a revolved variation. So the right hand to the mat, turning Parivrtta Anjaneyasana. Okay, same option to grab the back foot if you can. So you're bending up the back leg, taking the back foot. Again, it is a deep quad stretch. You need to be careful of the knees as well. Okay, releasing the foot. Foot comes down, hand comes down. Step back to downward facing dog. And we'll just take a couple of breaths here. Okay, we'll take the knees down now. And we're just going to come to sit back. So we're just going to have a look at Baddha Konasana. Okay, so you're going to take the soles of the feet together. You're going to clasp the hands around the toes. And you're just encouraging openness across the hips. So you're going to possibly press the elbows in towards the inner thighs. Okay, if it doesn't reach, you're just going to stay here and you're just going to work. If you're not bouncing, you're just kind of pressing from inside. But if you can fold forwards, get a little bit of a deeper stretch. Okay, and breathing. Can go a little deeper if you able, if it's comfortable to. You just take the forearms down to the floor. Just feel that stretch through the hips, through the groin, through the inner leg lines. Okay, stretch through the spine as well. And then we'll bring ourselves up to sitting up. We're going to move this into Upavista Konasana. So you're going to take your legs wide, so as wide as is comfortable. Flesh from the sit bones. Keep the knees pointing up. You can flex the feet if you wish. And then we're folding forward. So it's the same. You're going to bring your hands down. You might walk the hands a little further forwards. Feel the stretch. You're going to feel it slightly deeper across the whole of the inner leg lines. You might come a little further forwards. Okay, so you're just going to where you're comfortable to go. So you can either, if you're deeper into the pose, either kind of lay flat, or if you find it helpful, you enjoy the feeling, you can take hold, yogi toe lock around the toes, big toes, and then just your kind of body weight is getting you deeper into the stretch. Okay, so either the toes or keep yourself supported with the hands. So we'll just take a couple more breaths here. Feel just a really nice release through the inside of the legs, through the spine, and then you're just going to ease yourself up to sitting up. Okay, and then we'll just bring the legs in, come back to a cross-legged position. So if you've got time, you can take a couple of minutes in Shavasana. Otherwise, we'll close the practice here. Thank you for joining me.